Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems and welcome back to MX Bikes, where today we're going to get a first little look here at the 2023 Anaheim 1 Supercross track in the game. And I'm going to do this straight up with no practice on the track whatsoever. I did a little bit of kind of testing and riding coming into this video just to get my feet wet a little bit in the game again. But I kind of almost wanted to do this as a real track, I guess walk would be the right way to put it, but just a track preview and get my initial reactions and thoughts and opinions on it. So this is, straight up coming right off the cuff and right into Anaheim 1. I do want to apologize in advance that, first of all, the content has been lacking a little bit on the channel lately. Obviously, you guys know that I lost my voice at Anaheim 1 in real life and was kind of struggling to get through the broadcast for Sim earlier this week, but we're getting back into the grind of it a little bit and going to kind of talk about this track here today. And second of which, also with this track and something I wanted to talk about, of course, this is a paid mod track, so you have to get it through the MX Bike shop. It is $1.50 to get it over there, and then you can also obviously just race it anytime or ride it, but it is going to be used for the Aerial Racing League Championship that starts tonight. Actually, the EU series, the European side of that championship, has already started, I believe. I think it's going on right now as I record this video. So good luck to our SYS Racing MX Bikes team out there as they try to slay the dragons this year and win a couple titles in the many different championships that are available. I will try to probably end up racing a couple East Coast rounds if I can get any in, but definitely West Coast stuff is going to be pretty tough. The only reason I have a chance to even do it today is because I'm not in Oakland for the Oakland Supercross due to it being postponed. So just a couple quick updates there, but let's talk about this track and kind of how it feels and what it feels like and everything of the sort, because this is the newest Anaheim 1 track by the Aerial track crew that is going to build all the rounds for the 2023 Aerial Racing League season. So obviously that pretty much makes sense right there. But they do these rounds the following week after the real life race happens every time. So the round for Anaheim 1 is of course this Friday, and then Oakland I think it's still scheduled to go ahead as normal next Friday, so they'll be kind of I guess ahead in that regard, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure of the whole gamut of spectrum of what they're doing with that. We'll get there when it's time. But this is Anaheim 1, so this is our first look at really what we're going to probably expect from tracks this year to some degree. I am not the best rider. You're not about to watch Connor Lynn's put laps down on this track necessarily, as you can tell. But I'm getting my feet wet again and trying to get a little bit better with the new OEMs and all that stuff. So yeah, just figured it'd be kind of fun to make a video and show off the track a little bit and talk about the upcoming series. If you don't know anything about the MX Bikes championships or any of the pro series, I feel like it's gotten pretty popular enough that most people kind of have an idea of what's going on and when it's being raced. But like I said, it is on Fridays. They have the EU series midday on Friday and the NA series in the evenings on Fridays. So makes it really tough for me to ever consider attempting them, but it's usually pretty good timing for a lot of people to give it a go. And usually you're off school or work or something like that later in the week. The sim races have always been kind of the midweek stuff, just because a lot of the people that compete in sim are also tied to the industry in somehow, shape, or form, like me and a couple others that were around with building tracks and stuff like that over the years. So we didn't have the opportunity to even run races on the weekends, and now they do amateurs on the weekends as well. There is not an amateur series, though, for Aerial. There is basically just an open class that you do 250 or 450 in the North American Championship tonight or the EU Series today. Obviously, the EU Series will pretty much already be off and running by the time you guys actually watch this video, so you won't be able to follow along with that or try it today, but maybe next week you can try it out. And it doesn't... I'm trying to remember the whole logistics of it. You pay for the tracks, then you sign up to races through, I believe, mymxb.com. And they run pretty much most of the racing through their Discord server, so you can kind of keep up with any news, announcements, or other things like that. But yeah, if you have any more comments or questions about how to get signed up, we're happy to send you links and stuff like that to it. But I feel like a lot of people that are involved in the community kind of know about the MX Bike series at this point in time. So yeah, looking forward to watching the streams tonight. So let's talk about this track. Like I said, because it is after the real Anaheim 1, they can make adjustments and some changes to factor in what the real Anaheim 1 was sort of like. This track, unlike the MX Simulator track, does not have that little double before the Supercross triple. The first rhythm lane is slightly different because it bases it off the track that was actually raced and not necessarily the blueprint beforehand. So in that regard, they end up making what ultimately amounts to more closely resembling realistic tracks to the real tracks. But, it's just because it's before and after. It's just the way it rolls. So I don't think like one is necessarily better than the other. I just think that that's the way it's kind of been done for years, I guess, really. And so far what I'm liking about this track is that I'm going to go do some onboard action because this is what I regularly play the game in, which is just trying to do some third-person stuff for you guys. What I like about this track so far is it feels like the rhythm lanes are pretty unforgiving for players like of my caliber, for example. Like if you don't get a rhythm section perfectly clean, if you can't pop a triple in out of the corner, for example, you're able to check up and still double stuff and not ever really quite get going fast enough to triple stuff. I'm on a 250F, so that is probably also hampering my ability to pop a triple somewhere mid-rhythm or something like that. Like I bet the 450s probably can. But it just overall feels more forgiving. Like the test tracks that Stone Rider and the whole track crew were putting out, I felt like were really challenging and a little bit large scale in that regard, because like it was really putting an emphasis on limiting the big lines that people can do. And I still feel like this feels large, but I feel like it feels manageable. Like it's a large that you feel like it works, it flows together well, you can case jumps and it's not the end of the world. The whoops are probably the biggest tricky factor of this track in my opinion, and I got I guess an understanding that the whoops would be pretty difficult before I even downloaded the track, because my teammates who are going to be racing in EU today downloaded the track a couple minutes before me, and when they got on the track, the first thing they said is, holy smoke, these whoops are big, they are challenging. That's good, obviously, for the pro scene. It's going to really make those guys work for it, but for me, someone who is not very comfortable getting on top of the whoops and skimming them, definitely struggling to get through these ones in particular. But I feel like we'll, as the season goes on, we'll get there. Finally got that triple in. Let's see if I can triple the rest of this section. A little bit short on that mid-triple right there, but obviously the idea right there is to triple your way all the way through that section. I personally like this little inside over the kind of wall jump thing right there. I think that flows better. You can maybe consider triple quadding right there, but the real line that they're using in real life right there, the double over table, double out, feels really comfortable and quite easy to get, so not really going to push the envelope there. Just trying to hit lines that feel kind of right to me, because I feel like that's the best way to portray this video for players in my similar skill range, or even people that are just maybe beginners and not just completely blowing the doors off of the competition like some of the other people out there. It's kind of nice to see perspective of the track from this angle, I guess, a little bit. And finally, I actually got through that whoop section pretty clean. I didn't have to double through it, but I feel like this one, I know what I have to do to get it right on this one. I know I have to kind of tire tap that first one and place my front wheel right there on that whoop, but gosh, it is so hard to get that timing right. And fortunately, this set of whoops, unlike maybe the next track or something like that, that set of whoops is pretty small, so if you start to get it wrong, you're not in them too long before you can get out of them and not maybe go down. But I foresee definitely some struggles being had in future weeks out of me on some of those whoops. I really want to get that kind of triple quad line right there. Maybe we'll get it before the video's over. So triple in, land in third gear, just can't quite pop that next one. Maybe I should just stay in second. I feel like second's going to get me enough drive to get over that next one. But this is, I don't know, I felt like this was kind of a fun video idea to try, just so that I know that I'm going to play these tracks every week. I know that I'm going to be able to learn them and get better at them on my own. But maybe you guys like to see the discovery aspect of it and see what it is that I'm feeling and what it is that I'm trying to learn and what I'm trying to do to get better at the track. Because, if I was going to be racing EU, for example, I would only have an hour and 20 minutes or so before we're even racing, just like it is in Sims. So you have a limited amount of time to learn the track, and just from my perspective, I feel like you have to take that time to see which lines are going to maybe be the big lines and which lines could work, but more dial in stuff that you're comfortable with. And if you're going to be racing it, for example, you got to have lines that you can do consistently. So to go out there and try to bust the big lines and the big quads just to get a good qualifying time, yeah, maybe if you're a borderline guy, you have to try to do those things, but you also got to figure out what stuff you're going to be able to race on it, so that you're not completely behind the 8 ball once the gate actually drops on these night show races. So I just felt like this was a neat perspective on that. Let's see if this second gear staying in it. Yeah, there we go. Staying in second gear seems to be the move. Outside that and triple out. There we go. I just missed that. We're going over the bars. Yeah. I feel like based on kind of the sector times I'm putting together, I could probably get down, you know, below a 110 pretty easily once I put the whole track together. I do know that my teammates are already hovering in the low ones, like one flat 101 range. But those, you know, my teammates in this game are quite literally the aliens of this game. They're the past champions. They're the guys that are going to go for championships. That's not me. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, maybe sniff a qualifying spot sometime in my life in this game, and maybe we'll get there someday. But I feel like, you know, I just got to dial in a couple more things with my technique. You know, try to get through corners a little bit better, not be so afraid of attacking the whoops and getting my front tire on top of them. But we'll, you know, like I said, we'll get there. It's a work in progress. Hoping to make these adjustments as kind of each week goes by. And I'm taking it easy on purpose because I feel like I'm sick and tired of watching myself crash. So I can't imagine you guys watching this video want to see me keep crashing. But let's see if we can at least finish off one like half decent lap right here. Put it all together. Let's see if we can triple quad. Oh, we're gonna be a little short on the quad and over the bars. Darn. I feel like second gear is the way to go on this KTM. We're gonna be on KTMs. Some of our team will be on Yamahas as well, but I think a lot of us will end up riding the KTM. I think that was kind of the way it went. We were going to be on Hondas this season, and then the new OEMs came out, and we kind of made a shift to, you know, change it up a little bit, trying to make some people happy. It really kind of comes down to the few guys that are really going to battle for championships. We want to cater to them and make sure they're comfortable before any of us noobish people at the back of the field are any more comfortable. So also inner workings of having a team. It's the fun stuff, right? All right. Let's do one more lap just to finish it up with maybe a banger today. Take it a little bit easy through this rhythm section. No need to triple stuff if you're not feeling comfortable with it. You know, just do what you can do. That's what I've always tried to tell people that play sim. Like, they're like, oh, I can't get this line or this, you know, whatever. And it's like, don't then, you know, like just settle with what you feel comfortable with doing. Like, I obviously don't feel comfortable attacking these whoops right now and getting on top of them. It's something I'm going to have to learn. And I'll spend time during this week trying to get a little bit better at that. So maybe by the time we get closer to the East Coast, I'm a little bit better at all that. But, you know, I got to do what I'm comfortable with, double the sections that I can get through easily, and just try to put laps in. That's how you're going to grow and get better at this game. Trying to do the Hail Mary lines every single time is not going to help anybody. So there we go. Triple quad. A little bit short, but kind of put it all together. There we go. A little bit long, but that's okay. That, look, we got a pretty decent lap going right here, aside from the crash and the whoops at the start, which set me back a little ways. But I feel like, you know, take that out of there and we're probably going to get into the low teens with this type of a lap. Should I go for the triple? I went for it a little bit short, but that's okay. All right, half decent lap. I mean, it's a 17. It's not great, but I feel like if you put all those sector times together, if I'm going through them half decently, it's not bad. Let's take a look. We can go back to the pits and actually examine this. So yeah, ideal lap time 1:11.1. I mean, I'm happy with that. Like, if I put all those sections together, I had 3 of my 4 best sectors on that last lap, which was lap 9. That's a pretty satisfying lap. So yeah, I'm good with it. We'll continue to work on this and we'll get better. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, like a little first look, I guess, at the track. Understanding the series a little bit, and any more questions or comments you guys have, please let me know. I guess I should say we don't stream the series at SYS, but I will link to the people who do, so you can watch it here tonight as we get ready to drop the gate on MX Bikes in 2023. So thanks guys for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one. So long for now.